All right. Clear that vape out of the room. Welcome to another episode of the Maladjusted Monkeys. I'm Tommy Archer, joined always by my co-host. You know him. You love him. He thinks he can give up alcoholism. I don't think he can do it. It's Mr. Shane Clubb.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello, mate. You dressed up today. I like that.
Yeah, mate. Fucking...
It's good.
Blazer. Some threads.
You're actually lifting the game of the podcast up a bit.
I thought someone had to.
Yeah, well, wine shirt. Man to my right, we've known him since our infantry days. He's now a Queensland Ambulance Service Officer. Mr. Lindsay White, how are you, mate?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
No,
I'm really excited. It's been too long.
Mate,
Bloody oath.
It's been a long time.
When did I last see you? Years.
As Jared Hayne would say, it's been a long time.
Mate, I have not seen you since, I'm going to say 2013.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a while.
I didn't see you since you left. Yeah.
Yeah, Shane, when did you last see
Yeah,
Whitey?
same.
Same
Oh,
thing.
really?
Yeah.
I thought you guys saw each other like 2 years ago.
No.
No?
No, it's been a while. Yeah.
Oh, what have you been doing lately? So you've got a whole bunch of days off now, eh?
Yeah, I'm actually on leave this week.
Yep.
We put in all our leave the year before with the ambulance, so I sort of just pick weeks here and there and just picked this random week and didn't really have anything planned apart from just...
That is bizarre. I could not live like that.
I know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like committing to what you're going to do, but it's only a week and I just thought I'd use it to catch up on sleep and
Yeah.
not set an alarm.
Shift
and-
work life, mate.
Yeah, that's it. You
what
just
it
want
is.
to...
Gotta
How
catch
long
up.
are your shifts?
Yeah. All we want is some sunlight and some sleep. That's all we want.
Yep.
How long are your shifts?
Hey?
How long are your shifts?
12 hours. Yeah. Minimum.
What?
Yeah, that's
minimum.
That's not legal,
mine
is
are
it?
8 hours.
Yeah.
Mine are 8
Yeah,
hours.
well, we all
I
know
mean, I
about
don't-
you Cottonwool cops.
I'll fight you right now, boy.
You guys get held back after your shifts and stuff?
Mate, sometimes like you might get a bit of overtime if something happens. Like it
Yeah.
always happens. Like on night shift, like you do a 10p to 6a,
Yeah.
and then 5:30, 5:45.
Yeah.
You hear that urgent job
Yeah.
come over. You're like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Is it really this urgent? Who is committing crime right now? Who
Yeah,
needs
yeah,
police
yeah, that's
assistance
it. Everyone
at
should be
this
in
time
bed.
of morning,
Yeah,
Wednesday
yeah.
morning. Are you fucking kidding
Yeah,
me?
that's it.
Yeah, so I like that normally happens. But
Yeah.
mate, I don't know. Like you guys do 12 hours and then
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, if it's 10 to 7 and someone calls the ambulance and we work by tracking and everything, if you're the closest unit and it's appropriate, that's just it, you know, like that's how it goes. So
yeah, it's the same with us. They track where everyone is.
yeah. So if you're at station at that time, like say it's after a night shift, if you're 20 to 7, the day crew should be there.
Yep.
They should probably have
Get it
their
up,
car.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Same at 5:30.
Yeah. We're pretty good at my station. We all help each other out, and like it'd be honestly rare to, you know, post 20 to 7 to get a job and have to go to it.
Yeah.
But in saying that, you could be leaving a hospital somewhere,
Yep.
you know, on the south side or something, and you could get a job, and that's
You guys, you travel a fair bit, hey?
yeah,
Like, there
we
isn't
do.
just one patch.
Yeah, like sort of. Yeah, we all start out at our stations, but like once we get a job and take someone to hospital, it's sort of like becoming a cab where everything's just all GPS.
If
And
you're
just,
over in that area.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So you could just end up like completely other side of town.
I've done shifts where I've almost ticked everything off in one night. Ipswich, south side, north side, you know, far north like Caboolture and stuff like that. And
Fuck.
end up everywhere, yeah. But it's good.
People laughed at me for re-enlisting. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Well, we should talk about the army days. Like
Yeah.
I said at the beginning, we've known each other since our army days. When and why did you join, actually?
So I joined in 2010.
Yep.
I think it was September 2010. I got posted to 6RR. I'm going to say I joined, honestly, like I always wanted to be a cop.
Yep.
And I left high school and I didn't want to study, and I didn't think I'd be capable of study. Didn't want to go and do a diploma of justice or anything like that. So I thought, how can I best, you know, prepare myself or do something in the meantime? You know, played footy and rode bikes and that as a kid, and I was always into fitness and mentally pushing myself.
Yep.
And then, you know, I went on the defence website one day and read the rifleman job description.
Fuck, it sounded
And it
good,
got me
didn't
as well.
God, it sounded good.
Yeah, it got me as well. So yeah, I joined up. Like I said, September 2010. Posted to 6RR.
Yep.
And yeah,
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah, that's why I joined. You know, like I just didn't really have anything else going at the time, and I thought it would help me out later in life. I always only wanted to do the 4 years anyway. So
Yeah. So you just did the 4?
yeah, just did the 4. I got out, I think, the day of my fall.
Yep.
I think we all did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, you and me, Shane, we were already on our leave. I think we were over in
Ireland, probably.
Ireland,
Yeah.
which is why we went to the Temple Bar, probably.
Mm.
Celebrate that.
That's a good spot.
Yeah.
Oh.
But 2012, we were all on the same deployment.
Yep.
You guys...
Yeah, we were on the same mentoring team.
Yeah, same mentoring.
Same place.
So, mate,
known you since 2010 as well.
Yeah.
Like, I got posted into 6. Immediately, I wasn't too fucking popular when I got posted in. Because I don't know if you remember, Tommy.
Do?
I don't know if you remember, but I was the most Billy Lid ever. I think it was my second week in the battalion. Do you remember that Sergeant McDonald? He come up to me and he goes, "Are you private white?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And this is a Friday afternoon. He's like, "Pack your shit. You're going to Puckapunyal on Monday. You're doing P&V course."
You lucky motherfucker.
I do remember this
Because it sent all the
There was-
Bravo
yeah.
company via details into a fucking
a lot of
rage.
people are like, who the fuck's this guy? He's already got a course and he's been here for 2... He's been
That's
here since
it.
breakfast. I do remember that talk. I was like, oh, mate, when I meet this whitey bloke.
And I fucking hated that, you know. At the same time, I had to relish it. But, yeah, so Shane was on that. Who else was on there? Pody.
Yep.
Pody.
There was a Bardo.
Bardo.
Yeah.
Kimo.
Yeah.
Kimo was very hostile to me.
Yeah.
Kimo's hostile to everyone.
Yeah.
I've got to say,
Kimo's a good... Yeah.
Kimo only warmed up to me sort of like post-trip, you know, like it took that long to get his respect.
Yeah.
He like even
He's a
slapped me in
he's
the
a
head
hard
up in
dude.
Townsville.
He's a fucking good dude.
Yeah, he is.
I'm actually, I think Kimo was, when we were doing our pre-deployment training, because I was meant to be in Bravo with him, I was his crew and he was my driver.
Yeah.
Maybe the first couple of weeks, that was a rocky relation. I'm like, man, this dude just wants to knife me in the throat. Like, and I just felt that tension. And then after a while, I think we went out of the piss and he was like, nah, mate, you're all right. I like
He's a
you.
scary dude.
Yeah. But there's
He's
not
a
much of
scary
him. But it's just like, there's this ice cold killer. And
Yeah.
like, man,
Yeah.
This dude just, if I shut my eyes right now, he'll kill me. He'll cut my head off. He'll
Even,
go Ted Bundy on me.
Even up in Townsville, like I lipped off to him and he slapped me in the head, you know. Like, he's just a scary dude.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So, looking back, we've discussed the deployment with me and Shane many, many times, but when you look at the Afghan deployment, for you, how do you reflect on it?
It's kind of hard because I turned 21 when I was over there, and I always look back and go, I wished it away a lot, and I couldn't wait to get home. But now that now I look back, I go, I just wish I took that in more. You know what I mean? I wish I had that few more years of maturity.
Yeah.
But I had a ball. Like, it was great. I always loved the P&V stuff, you know, and I loved driving the engineers. It was
they were fucking good dudes.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah,
I loved
engineers
them.
in my car
Like,
too, and
honestly,
that was
like, still good friends with a few of them, and yeah, I wanted to drive for them. I remember Tommy, like when it come out that the Engos weren't taking their own crews.
Yeah.
I said to Tommy, I'm like, we got to do it, and like obviously he'd been on MTF1, and he's like, I don't think you really understand what you're throwing your hand up for. And I was like,
No, be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Tell Donnie we'll do it, and he did, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, because I remember he was lying to his missus the whole trip. Like,
yeah, we both.
Because she knew about
Tommy Miranda.
Yeah, his missus at the time. She had a kind of an understanding because he was obviously on a trip before that, and she's like, "You're not going to be the engineer car." Are you? He's like, "Nah, babe, nah."
Yeah. And I told my partner at the time that too. I was like, "Don't worry, I'm like fifth car, like."
Yeah.
If anyone listening doesn't understand, like, were you an engineer car, Shane?
No.
I was an engineer car. You were an engineer car. The engineer car is at the front of the pack, basically, and is more susceptible to getting hit by an IED.
Yeah,
So,
statistically speaking,
it's probably more susceptible to getting hit by an IED.
Everyone kind of follows in your wheel tracks. And obviously, sometimes people still get unlucky, but
yeah, exactly. You just never know. But what, Tommy Miranda was lying to his...
Yeah. But like, my mum thought I was in AMAB washing bushies there for 6 months.
Is that what you told her?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, oh, mum, this is so shit.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. It was a lot quieter than I expected, like, on our end.
Yeah.
You got a bit of action when you went out to Marshall.
Like, one half contact.
Mate, that's more one half contact that I got.
Yeah, I mean, they had an IED find on my first drive. That was my first drive.
Was that I'm trying to
Coming
think,
back from Marshall.
What can I? Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm like, what can I
think
say?
we all went out.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Marshall.
Was that to race up?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking. I wish I still had the footage. I lost it. It was so fucking weird because we could hear everything that was going on, and they'd push the guys out to do to go make sure everything was sweet. And I just got this weird ass feeling. I looked over to my driver and went, "Oh, that doesn't feel right." And then all of a sudden, we just saw like fucking off in the distance this fucking cloud of smoke coming up, and then fucking boom, and like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Was that the blowing place or?
No, that was when I say I'm still trying to work out what
I can't say.
Yeah.
I'll edit out of post, mate. Go for it.
So
A&P?
yeah, no, it was the A&A because they
A&A,
were
sorry, that's on there.
luckily, you know,
I remember that day.
the Aussies that were in front of them missed it, but unfortunately for
I remember that.
unfortunately for the A&A guys walking behind them, they got a bit unlucky and mate, yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, way to bring it down,
Yeah,
Shane.
sorry,
Jesus.
guys.
May I remind you, a man just died.
Yeah, and I remember that day. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, crazy.
So when you look back at it, you're 21. I didn't even know you turned 21. When you
Yeah, I
were there.
turned 21 when I was over there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like that's pretty young when I look back now. Like,
Yep.
you know.
But you enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
loved it.
Yeah.
And I always say to
That's a
people,
lot of thinking. Sorry, going back to the engine being that lead car. It's a lot of fucking responsibility for like a 21-year-old at the
And,
front
like,
of a fucking convoy.
yeah, and people can say it's just driving, but really it wasn't. Like you had to really work with the engineer secco to
Mate,
like really.
a lot,
Yeah.
even to the driving role. Yeah, a lot goes into it. Like,
Yeah.
I think I was telling you before we started recording. Like in the pre-deployment in Townsville, I was training to be with one unit. And then the last minute, like I'm talking the week before, they're like, "Oh no, we're going to swap you out, and you're actually going to go instead of going to Afghan in 4 weeks' time, you're going to go next week, and you're going to be with a whole bunch of new guys who you haven't trained with." I'm like, "Okay, all right, I'll
Cheers.
wrap my head around this."
Cheers for that.
And you know, when I was training previously, I was like fourth car back. I was like, "Yeah, sweet, I can command from here."
Yeah.
Get over in country. They're like, "Okay, so here's the plan. Stay
Yeah.
with me. You're going to be the lead engineer command,
Yeah.
all right, and you're going to navigate for us."
And you're like, fuck, I need my map now.
Mate, I was trying to actually. Pody helped me with my GPS. Got my GPS synced in. Had my map, and I remember, fuck, it says.
Not during a shit fight.
Yeah, mate. The first what was it like? The first patrol you do in country, you know, just getting your bearings.
nursery patrol.
Nursery patrol, yeah. And we had like all these locations we're going to. Went for a couple of hours. And I was the lead vehicle with the crewie that was heading out of country.
Yeah, like hand
But he's
over.
like, "Hey, mate, I'll just be sitting in the back if you need me, you know. Everything will all be good." Actually, that bloke's a copper now as well. Everything will be all good. I have not been that stressed in a long time. It's like I looked at the map and I couldn't read the fucking map anymore. I was that stressed. I was like, I'm fucking this up. I had like the commander that was flying out of country. He was yelling at me over the comms. And I remember the engineers that had been there for months, they were clearing a waterway. And I'm just providing protection and just waiting for them to do it. And then the commander comes over the comms and he's like, "Yep. How long is this going to take?" And I'm like, taking my headset off. I've yelled out to the brick commander, the engineers. I'm like, "Hey, mate, commander wants to know how long is this going to take?" And he goes, It'll take as long as it fucking takes. Not knowing I probably shouldn't have told the commander that that's what was said. I said, yeah, from the brick commander. It'll take as long as it fucking Next thing I know, like 30 seconds later, the back of my bushy opens up. Who the fuck said that?
But it doesn't take them long to like clue on to start listening to the fucking engineers, eh?
Yeah, you gotta listen to the engineers.
Yeah.
Man, like they're honestly the unsung heroes of
Yeah,
Afghanistan.
fucking oath.
In my eyes, like
Yeah.
I just had so much respect for them.
And it's funny, like, coming from the infantry background where, I was going to say brought up, but, like, where you train, it's like, we're the fucking best.
we're the big dogs. Yeah.
And then, like, you go
realize
overseas with
that.
them, you're like, fucking hell,
They do
man.
well.
They're, like,
Like,
hat
you got-
off.
You got grunts that are asleep in the back of a
Yeah,
bus,
yeah.
and the NGOs are out clearing the way for everyone else. you
Yeah,
know,
like 4 blokes having to do fucking God knows how many kilometres.
yeah,
And the
man,
heat, like the time we were over in country, it was fucking hot.
proper hot.
Actually, going back to when you're doing your nursery patrol, you remember the EHAT, the explosive hazard training? And they're talking about, like, ground sign and what to look for, and they're talking about, like, rock piles could be an indication of and, like, you get over there and all of a sudden it's like every fucking 100 meters there's
I was
another
like, looking
rock
at my map,
pile.
looking at it, going, everything's a threat.
They didn't tell you.
It's like a national sport over there,
Yeah.
just to stack rocks.
Yeah,
Stack rocks. Yeah.
And like,
I finished that patrol, mate. I went to my command. I said, I don't know if I can do this for 6 months. I don't know if I'm your man. He's like, no. He's like, you're fine. Just stick with it. And then after like 3 days, I picked it up like that. I was like, okay, yep.
Once you learn the routes and stuff.
That's it. Because the country, it's completely different to Australia. Like we train at certain training grounds, and you're used to Australian. How the landscape looks. You go over there.
It's like Mars.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, you'll be driving around in the desert flat, then all of a sudden you'll go down like a little dip in the road, and there's lush greenery and flowing waterways and a village. And
I really must holiday here sometime.
Everyone trying to kill you.
Well, people used to, man. You know Weller. Remember Weller?
Yeah.
So we're over with Nick Weller, and his mum had a photo from the 70s, and she was on holiday in Afghanistan.
Mate, you could set up a ski resort there, like.
Let's do it. You know, that's a hard black run.
Yeah.
Double time in black.
Double time in black. Yeah. So you do your deployment.
Yeah.
What do you do next? How long did you stay in for after that?
So I think I had a year and a bit left on my Rosso.
Yep.
And
were you one of the disgruntled guys after the trip?
I was a bit.
I'll say I was.
You remember what happened to me? Like I had a skin full of piss one night, and I complained about something on Facebook. It's my fault.
Maybe just go into the backstory of that. I wasn't there, and I have no opinion on it. But yeah, just go into the backstory of it.
So there was a guy that got promoted as soon as we got home. Another one. So what happened was, we got home, but we weren't allowed to go and leave straight away because we had to wait for the rest of the battle group to get home, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But all up, we'd been gone 10 months, right?
Yeah.
So show us some consideration. And then they started, we just hooked up with Delta Company, and they were like, yeah, come down and battle PT rig. We're doing this and we're doing this. And everyone was like, fuck, like...
Yeah, we got, like,
no
decompression.
I just did the real thing for, like, 6 months, you know, like...
And I think the reason for that was the fact that we didn't go with our unit. We went with a different unit and then got slotted back into our own unit.
So we just slot back into them, and they're just doing their thing. And, one of the boys had something to say about it to someone that we're, over there with and got promoted and obviously got himself in trouble. He ended up in big trouble that day, and then that night I went home, had a 6-pack.
I believe that person ended up in the cells for a little bit.
Yeah, in the cells. Yeah, in the cells. Jumpsuit and everything. Someone went in there.
God, it's a different fucking world. How can you do that?
Someone went in there and took a photo of him and posted that on Facebook. Yeah. And
because how long were we back at that point? Not even a week.
Less than a week, man. 3 days. 3 days. And then conversation sparked from that. And obviously, like I said, it's no excuse, but I had a skin full, so my filter wasn't very good from my brain to my fingertips on my keyboard.
And I don't, mate. And to be fair, you hadn't had your social media brief yet, so
that's true, mate. How are you meant to know what you can and can't post?
That's it. No, actually, we did. Man.
Oh, fuck off. We're trying to help you out here, mate.
Fucking Hoppo.
You're on your own.
Stop naming people. Stop naming people.
There was a member in Chora that fucked up. Remember?
Yeah.
Someone ranked. Yeah. Anyway, so a conversation started about the photo of the person in the cells.
Yep.
And then, like I said, had a skin full. I threw my 2-bob in there, telling them, what I thought about the situation and, how can you treat us like this or whatever. We just got back with it. And then, someone who I deployed with actually screenshotted that conversation. And that was on the company sergeant major's desk by the time I rocked up to work in the morning. So I'd rocked up thinking I was in for a normal day. I got the fucking spray of all sprays that morning. And I got put in the cells that night. I got charged. I was heard by the OC, not the CO, so that's better than being heard by the CO. Yeah. But I got heard by the OC and I got the max punishment there, which was 7 days of ROPs.
Can you explain ROPs?
Restriction of privileges.
And what does that entail?
So,
Fighting?
I love that they're called privileges.
That's what I was going to say. Apparently, according to the Army, going home to your family is a privilege. So I had to stay in a 6-hour guard room for a week. I had to sleep under a hooch outside in my sleeping bag while our fucking canine mascot slept inside. And then
Anyone who doesn't know what a hooch is, it's like a metre by metre tarp.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. It's a little tent, but with no floor. It's not comfy like a tent. It's just the illusion of a tent.
Yeah.
And so I did the 7 days of just horrible jobs. Like some days I picked up like leaves, like bags and bags of leaves, only while the wind's blowing them all back in. A couple of days there was a good duty NCO1 who just let me chill.
Yep.
But I made that decision right then and there. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like this.
You know what? I've thought about it, and this isn't for me. This is for me. But you know what they say though, like. You joined the army didn't join you, and that is definitely what your service allowance is for.
We're going back to something you said earlier. You looked at the defence recruiting website, looked at the rifleman role. Was that on there? Right?
Yeah, exactly. That was.
I remember one of my ROPs once was, I think you were there, Shane, watching me do it when I lost my shit, where I was told to repaint the car park lines while it was pissing down with rain, and I did it. Obviously knowing, well, this is a fucking pointless exercise.
Yeah.
And then old mate had to go at me because the rain was making the paint fucking go down the drain.
Oh, my God.
I mean, but look, to be fair, though, jokes aside, the army has come a long way since then. And
yeah.
I can hope so, mate.
Look, I look back on that, and I know it was my fault. Like, I don't blame anyone for it. But in saying that, it was really tough.
Yeah.
3 months after a 10-month, 6 months deployment,
man,
4 months Townsville. I was in a new relationship at the time. Everything was all.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be with her. I want to be around her. I want to be around my family.
Yep.
And instantly,
not around 12
days,
other guys jacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done that for 10 months.
Yeah. 3 days home, and I was already ripped away from them again, and I was being punished. And I like I said, I knew then. Now I was like, this isn't for me. I always thought I was going to just do my 4 and get out, but that really helped the decision for me. And I started thinking about a plan B and all that sort of stuff, and like what I wanted to do. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So you figured out the time was right to move on.
Yep.
What was so did you have a plan when you got out, like what you wanted to do?
Yeah. So, I mean, before I got out, I applied for uni, and I'd been accepted for uni. But what I did was, my partner at the time, we had like 2 months of travel booked in Europe for the year after. So what I did was I deferred that year, which was I deferred 2014. And then I did some travel with her. I found myself a bar job at the end of the year to like get myself through uni. I just worked in a bar for 6 months and chilled out. And then 2015 started my 3 years of uni. So, and then, that's where I am now. So,
yeah, so you're all qualified up now.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now, mate? Just explain where.
So I'm just advanced care paramedic 2. So that's like
just advanced, no biggie.
Oh, it's got advanced, but it's the base paramedic.
When I was a postie, it was like a postal delivery officer.
Oh my God, you got a badge on you there, mate? Or
Yeah, mate. What is it, Archie? 2 in the first hour, 6 every hour after that?
Yeah, something like that, mate. I'm pretty loose.
You're lucky you got the breatho in the car.
Yeah. Well, don't say that, mate.
Well, wouldn't that cover your ass? Or am I going to have to cut this out as well?
No, keep that in. Keep that. No, do we have any more drinks, by the way? Or
no, mate.
No,
mate, it's a dry fucking house.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Shane can't drink, as we all know.
No, actually, no, you're right.
Let me fucking smell that mug. So, you're in the Queensland Ambulance Service now.
Yeah.
And how long have you been on the road, first response?
Well, on the road, it'll be a year in March, but I've been wearing the uniform since January last year.
Okay.
So, coming up 12 months.
Yep.
So, you do, like I said before, we do our 6 months of, it's called a graduate paramedic induction program.
Yep.
Where we do, we work with a fully qualified, so you can't work with another graduate at that time. You work with a fully qualified. You've got some mandatory training to do throughout that time, and then at the end you do like a bit of an assessment day where you do some ECGs and stuff like that and all that, and then you're qualified, and they say, yep, there you go.
Yep.
So, like I said to you before, as soon as you're qualified, you're kind of like, free your aim. Yeah, you could have a graduate yourself the next week, but they try not to do that, but sometimes obviously that can happen.
Yep.
What was your first job?
That's what I was about to ask.
My first, I can't actually remember my first job. Actually, I do. Sorry. So my first shift was with 2 other paramedics, and it's called a 3-up shift.
Yeah.
So you do, you just jump in with another crew pretty much, and you just over their shoulder the whole day, kind of like when you're a uni student again.
Yeah.
First job, it was nothing crazy. It was just a lady with MS, and she'd fallen from a
Monkey
wheelchair.
Scrotums.
Hey,
Monkey Scrotums.
multiple sclerosis.
Oh.
God damn it, Shane! I'm trying to lift this podcast up. Just because you put that jacket on, mate.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
and it was it was actually
Big city lawyer.
we got her back up into her chair because she obviously couldn't function. She is almost like she's paralyzed if she's out of her chair, and she had a bit of a cut on her. We weren't going to take her to hospital, but she had a bit of a cut on her leg, which looked a little bit angry around it, a bit red and infected. So we decided to take her up to hospital just for a check. So that was my first job. Nothing too exciting.
Yep. How long till you got like your first like critical incident job?
I think it was about 2 weeks in.
Yep.
I had and it was a big medical job, so it wasn't like a big trauma or a car accident or anything. It was a medical job where a lady just basically, she had an infection so bad that she was on her way to like multiple organ dysfunction syndrome and death.
Yep.
And unfortunately, she actually did die that night.
Oh, wow.
But that was my first sort of big job, and I had a really good partner at the time. She's awesome. She really helped me through everything, and it was weird because when I wanted to get into paramedics, I just I saw Ricka and Frizzy overseas, and I was like, actually the one thing I remember was there was a day where an IED went off in the bazaar. Do you remember the bazaar?
Yeah, yep.
I was on the roof tying my swags and that down and doing my car, and I shat myself. I remember they brought this dude in remember the gator?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gator. They brought a dude in the gator, and he had
So it's a little
That little
John Deere?
Polaris, little Polaris four-wheel drive
Polaris.
thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
They brought him in, and the poor guy he was holding onto his fake legs. He's already lost his legs somehow.
Oh, so he's already lost one leg.
Well, he'd already lost both his legs. He had two prosthetic legs in his hand, and this dude had half his face, was really fucked up from an explosion.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking to myself, I'd really like to know how to treat that.
Yeah,
I was genuinely interested. And then when I went to uni, and I was I was really quite naive. I was like, what is this? Cell biology? I was so the medical side of things.
When do we get to the IED blast?
Yeah. The medical side of things is huge, and it's honestly most of our job. Everyone sort of thinks we go to car accidents every day and all that. And the truth is there's that many paramedics in Brisbane, and it's that saturated and all that sort of stuff. We don't get a lot of that. We might get one every couple of weeks.
Yeah,
and
Well, there times I call you guys to jobs for not even trauma jobs at car accidents, but
Broken down scooters.
Someone who's drug affected or been on the piss.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing I can do with them. I'm like, QAS here just to have a look at him and
you guys get us a lot for mental health and, and things like that. Yeah, and you guys do a great job with that. I mean, I know you guys think we're sort of a lot better, but really it's just all about talking to people, and mental health is hard. It's grey. It's not black and white.
Exactly.
You could say something to one person that they're like, oh my God, thanks so much. I'll take your advice. I want to do this. I want to help myself. You could try that with the next person, and that completely triggers them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Sends them into a...
Well, it's the same thing with me and my partner rock up to a job, and I will say a couple of things to them. They may hate me all of a sudden. Yeah. And then we'll switch out. Partner will try, say the exact same thing, but they like that other person for some whatever reason. Yeah. Or they might hate police. And, do you want to come up to the hospital with us? No, I want to talk to an ambulance officer.
Yeah.
Okay. Ambulance officer rocks up, says the exact same thing, but they'd rather, go with
Yeah. And a lot of people are like that. I mean, I think they think that, I don't want to go to hospital in a cop car. Exactly. People will think, so sometimes... You guys have already done the work, and we just pretty much transport them. And
and I agree with that. Most of the time, I'd say, do you want to go with QS?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you do need to get in the back of a van where everyone else has to go as well.
Yeah.
But if you'd rather go with an ambulance, then I'm happy to come up for you.
Yeah. We're always happy to come out to that sort of stuff.
Did you find that you were a bit more prepared for seeing trauma and things like that from stuff you'd seen in Afghan?
Yeah, I think so. Probably the biggest thing the military helped me to do was just take that step back and, that muscle memory thing that we talk about, always just go, if you're flustered, take a step back, go back to your basics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are they responding? Do they have circulation? Do they have a patent airway? That's all your pyramid stuff, you know. So apart from, you know, like, and I think the military just helped me just stay really more chilled, you know. Like when I was younger in the military, I was, you know, you remember me, I was like a bit of a stress head. But now I'm kind of like the complete opposite. Like, you know, like people that know me like know I like to have a laugh and all that sort of stuff. And you know, when the times need to be serious, they're serious.
Yeah. Am I remembering? I can't remember if it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. Actually, it is you. 100% it's you. Where before deployment, because everyone knew you were stress head, you were
I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
You were asking people what we needed to pack for the deployment, and they told you needed to bring your ceremonial dress.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, that was so good.
You actually packed it all?
I asked, I think it was Tommy Miranda, I asked, I'm like, do we need to bring our fucking polys? And he's like, because I remember seeing on the news and that, like, ramp ceremonies and that, and I thought, you know, God forbid if someone was to, you know, get killed or whatever, like, will I need this for, like, a ramp ceremony or something? And not knowing that was always at home that those sort of things were done.
Yeah.
And Tommy just fucking ran with it. He's like, yeah, mate, you need to bring it. And he got Donnie onto it. And, like, before I know it, I had all my fucking polys packed. Like, everything, man. Like, everything. Like, even the, you know, the ceremonial hat that I tipped up on the side. And then they waited till we flew to Sydney, and Tommy was like, "Hey, Whitey, do you know how I told you that you needed to bring your polys?" We were just fucking with you. The whole plane, like even 3RO, just like, did you bring your polys, Afghan?
That was amazing. That was so, oh, fuck, I completely forgotten about that.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. And then Coley was trying to get me to go up that feature at the back of Mirrorwise in my polys and get a photo.
Oh, you should have.
I did hear about that as well.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, I should have done it.
What a good photo. Yeah. Did you not get any? Did you wear it at all?
No, I didn't. I just refused to. Like, I was so off it.
No, you should have rocked that. You totally should have rocked that.
Yeah.
So, Shane already asked you, but you feel like the skills you learned in the infantry
I feel like they did really well.
Yeah.
I know how to tie my boots good too.
I
still do the behind the boots.
Do you flip your socks over the top of the boots?
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, me either. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't fucking do that either.
No. Look, I really do think it set me up really well. And there's a lot of there is a lot of ex military paramedics.
Yep.
And I really feel like it helped me to just stress less.
Yeah.
Like some of the younger ones that are straight from uni, like most of them are like awesome paramedics. You know, like I'm not saying a bad word about them, but
they have that knowledge.
There is some that are just like they don't understand. Like, you know, like there is that life experience that the army gave me where I can just take that step back and be like, well, this isn't as bad as this. Or I can just really channel everything in and out and just take in what I need at the time. And
I think that's one thing the military has prepared us for is like dealing with unknown stress. Like when it just pops out of nowhere. We don't get too flustered.
Yeah.
We know kind of what to do. Like you alluded to it before where, you know, you take a step back and as a paramedic you go through your bare basics, which is what we do in the military. And like I won't go into too much detail. I was telling you earlier how I had a critical job recently with a stabbing.
Yeah.
Rocked up an old mate's guts were literally on his lap.
Yeah.
And I just went, oh, fuck, hang on. I've literally seen, like, how many PowerPoints of this in my military career. Water.
Yeah.
And I just went through the basic steps you were taught. You know, like combat first aid stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, we'll just wait for you guys to get there. Didn't get flustered or anything. I'm like, oh, okay, that's an odd thing to see right now. I was literally just having a coffee, but now I'm dealing with this.
Yeah.
And, just, like, didn't get flustered and go, fuck, what am I meant to do here? Like, what other injuries am I meant to look at? So, like, take it step by step.
Yeah.
And we'll deal with it.
Yeah. And, like, there is jobs sometimes that just completely stump you. Like, you'll get all your vital signs back and everything's normal, but they're, you know, semi-conscious. And you're like, what's going on here? Like, you know, and it does get a bit stressful, but, like, luckily working in Brisbane, there's critical care paramedics usually everywhere.
Yeah.
They can always come out and assist you.
Do you have that often where you get to a job and you're just not really sure what to do? Like,
yeah, all the time. Like, you know, like I said, like I remember one a little while ago that was at like a massage place, you know, in like
I wasn't there,
like,
by the way.
A very legitimate place. So like the patient was like, you know, half conscious, and we didn't know if it was drugs, alcohol, or even a stroke. Like he had some sort of signs that were suggesting a stroke, but everything came back normal, and we're like, what's going on here? Like, this is interesting.
This is a really good
This is-
massage.
yeah,
body.
this is
I think
really-
that's all it was.
yeah. Maybe she hit the spot. Yeah, but
yeah.
we did what we could and took him to hospital, and then we usually try and follow up on patients because it's good for our professional growth. Like if you don't know what was wrong with someone, but you think you follow up, and if it turns out, oh yeah, that was it, it helps you go, oh well, next time I know what to look for. But we followed up with this guy, and they're like, no, he's fine, and we're like,
Oh, really?
okay, what was it? Yeah, and I think they put it down to like alcohol or something, but this guy was just not like appearing like, wasn't drunk kind of behavior. Like he's like had this weird stutter and stuff, and like it's definitely interesting. But yeah, everything keeps you on your toes always.
Oh yeah,
and that's why I love the job, because it's different every day.
Yeah, you don't know what's coming over the radio.
Yeah, I mean, you never you would know, Tommy, from the QPS. Like you could never be fully comfortable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
You could have and I've had it personally where I've picked up old grandmas that have fallen over and stuff like that all shift, and then boom, hanging. You know what I mean? Like you're on your way to a hanging, and you're like, holy, when you got to snap into gear, and like you can never. And that's what I love about the job, because it's different.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I couldn't really see myself doing anything else at the moment, so I'm loving it. I mean, I went to a job in the city the other day, and I think it was like some guy had a nosebleed in an office, and I went up there, and I go into the office, and everyone is like silent, and they're just typing on their computers, and I just said to myself, like,
zombies.
I couldn't do this, man.
Fuck that.
I couldn't do it, man. Like I need to be stimulated. Like I need to have variety, and I think that's why I got out of the military in the end, because it was just
going back to barracks.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Every
day.
day.
Yeah. And you felt like, well, the reason I got out, felt like my skills were being wasted.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we're back home and we've got the usual speech right. There's no deployments coming up, back to basics, going to be training. I'm like, why would I smash my body for this? I just went overseas. Yeah. What else have I got to achieve? Yeah. May as well take my skills and go somewhere else. What are you giggling about, Shane?
I was going to say, you need to first have those skills before they can fade, mate.
So just remembering that Shane got out, became a civvy, couldn't cut it, went back into the army.
Yeah, that's it.
Mate, it's just too hard fucking working for money. It's fucked.
No, you're right, man.
Yeah, too easy.
Yeah. We'll cut this out in post.
No, leave it in.
Leave it in. No, we'll keep
it's
this
the Tommy and Art show.
Actually, leave this in. We'll keep it rolling.
Yeah. So how have you been?
Mate, good. Did you see on my socials the other day? I went to a wedding.
No, I don't look at fucking social media.
Well, I'm telling you, mate. I went to a wedding the other day. That's all.
Actually, yeah, because Madison was telling me about it.
Mate, the funniest thing. So it was down at Burleigh, and my cousin was the MC, and he contacted me 2 days prior. I was like, hey mate, I'm MCing Trav's wedding. You got any tips? Just gave him, because I've MC'd a couple of weddings, gave him a few tips, blah, 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 blah. Seen him on the day, and the ceremony's finished. I'm waiting for the reception to start, and I'm like, oh yeah, what, you got a few jokes to kick this thing off? And he's like, yeah, I do. I don't know about this first one. I'm thinking about scrapping it. So I'm like, well, tell me. He tells me the joke. I'm like, you got to keep that in. And he's like, really? I'm like, you got to keep that in.
Can you tell it?
Yeah, I'll tell it.
Okay, cool.
So, long table. The whole reception, everyone's just at one table.
Yeah.
All his friends are down one end of the table. I'm there. I'm down right at the tip of that table. And he is talking there. And he's like, all right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm like, here we go. And he's like, I won't say his name. He was, I'm so-and-so. I'm, I'm emceeing this great evening. Thanks everyone for coming. And then he winked at me. He's like, as in, here comes the joke. He's like, look, I've got to say I was pretty nervous in preparation for tonight, coming up and speaking to everyone, so I prepared a few lines. But I snorted them in the back just before I started. Front end of the table, where all the friends are, loved it. Back end, where all the grandmas and the family were, not so much of a hit.
I would imagine they'd be probably scratching their heads.
What's a line? Huh? But, then he quickly did that. All right, well, next card. Anyway,
back to the show.
Back to the show. Where were we?
I think we were talking about work. So, Tommy, I'm keen to hear when you guys have a big job,
yep,
or something potentially traumatic or anything like that.
Yep. What's
your sort of process after that? How do you guys
afterwards?
Do it? Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Like decompressing, or in
I
terms
wanted
of
to
like
Yeah,
fucking ask-
decompressing.
It's funny 'cause I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you this same question. As in, what's the QPS process or what's my process?
Well, both.
what's mandated?
A little bit different.
I'd say both.
It all depends on the job, really. Like, the first thing I really want to do, once the job is done and dusted,
Yep.
and we're either going to the next job or we're doing the paperwork for that critical job,
Yeah.
it's just talking to my partner.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
I've had a couple of critical incidents in the last couple of months back to back.
Yeah.
And it's always been the same thing where, like, after one of them, after the job was done, me and my partner hadn't eaten. And
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was the first time he'd seen what we saw at that scene and had to do what we had to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, man, let's go to Macca's. Let's get a coffee, something to eat. And
Yeah.
we just, like, kind of just chilled in the car park and just talked about what happened
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how we both felt. And that's probably kind of what I've done the last couple of times is
Yeah.
just sit down with my partner.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's leading into what I wanted to ask you is, like, I think most, fireys, QAS, QPS, after those big jobs, like an AAR, like an after-action review is meant to be done with everyone involved.
Yeah.
And, how do we do the job? What can we improve? What did we do well? That kind of thing. That's meant to be happen. I noticed at a job recently where all three services were there.
Yeah.
Someone was deceased, and after we dealt with that, for QPS, me and my partner, our job wasn't over. We then had to go into the investigation, the rest of the scene management, so we were still going.
Still going.
But I noticed that the fireys and the QAS kind of had that decompression with their guys because their bosses kind of rocked up
Yeah.
to see if everyone was all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they kind of had a chat about it, where we didn't really have time for that.
Yeah.
So is that something that you guys do a fair bit, or we'll start with what you do for your
Well,
process?
if we have a big job, it's usually pretty certain that you'll have critical care paramedics and stuff there. No, those guys they're the senior guys. They've gone and done their graduate diploma or their masters.
Yep.
They're going to a lot more high acuity work. We get them when we need certain interventions or certain drugs that we're not allowed to give, or even sometimes if you're just not sure and you want them to pop, if they're around the corner, if you wouldn't mind popping your head in, like having a look at this patient, like this is what we're thinking. But after a big job, like they're usually there, obviously, because you've got them. It's sort of like a bit of a, how's everyone feeling? And it sort of leads into sort of a bit of a compliment sandwich sort of thing, this is what we did, this is what we could improve, this is what we did good as well, So, like, I think it's really important for everyone to kind of always take that step back. And I mean, I had one recently. It was unfortunately only a few days before Christmas, where a guy had collapsed, and he was actually talking to us when we were present, and then he'd gone into cardiac arrest. We did everything we could. Unfortunately, couldn't save him, and it was quite stressing because his wife rocked up on scene and was, obviously hysterical and all that sort of stuff, and sort of my partner and I were feeling a little bit bummed about it, because we go to a cardiac arrest where most times they're already unconscious. We do what we can, and we're kind of prepared that it could have been too long, or we might not get them back or whatever. Yeah. But when someone's talking to you and then they go into an arrest and then it happens, it's a bit harder, what I mean? Because this guy was just talking to me, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then, so the important thing for me and my partner was, the critical care paramedic brought it up. He said, think about what was going to save this patient. And we both said, like early defibrillation. And he's like, you guys did that within 40 seconds. So he's like, if anything was going to save that patient, it's what you did.
Yeah.
And everything after that was great because I was there. He got there pretty quickly. He's like, you did well in everything else. And he's like, sometimes, unfortunately, we just can't save everyone.
Yeah.
And me and my partner were, like I said, we're pretty bummed out about that. But once, I think it was just hearing those words, like we did, if anything was going to save him, it's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything else we could have done.
Yeah.
So that
it's
really...
easy to carry that burden, I think.
Yeah.
I've had like a recent job like that where...
Yeah.
my one, like, probably knew he was gone.
Yeah.
But still did everything we could, and everyone got there. And then family was there as well, watching. And it was just like...
It's really hard to deal with people's grief,
Yeah, especially while you're still going through stress as well, and you're thinking about everything else that needs to be done. And then, it's not till later where you just take a step back and go, okay, fuck, all right. Could I have done anything better? Like, you do your own little AR in your head.
And that's what this job was. And when my partner and I look back at it, we're like, you know what? We did a good job there. Like, we did everything we could.
Yep.
Unfortunately, just didn't work out for this patient. But yeah, like you said, like when family's around and everything, it creates other stresses as well, like emotional stresses. Like I haven't had a lot of big traumas so far in my career, but I've had like big medical jobs. I've had people stroke out on me and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But I've always found out the hardest jobs is when there's family there that are distraught. Like people's grief is for me harder to deal with than blood and guts, and it's hard to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, well, you know what to do in that situation. Put it back in or whatever medical intervention you need to do. Whereas, like, what do you say to someone's wife, father, son? It's like, fuck, there's no amount of training that's going to sort you out there.
Yeah, and that's like, because part of my job, we got to deliver death messages a lot of the time. And that's like,
I don't envy you doing that.
Oh man, that's the hardest thing. I had one like a couple of years ago when me and a mate, and like we knew, all right, we got the job, go deliver a death message at this location. And like me and my partner on the way there were talking, and we both agreed that like when it comes to communicating to a family in that situation, he would probably be the better one out of me and him. And he's like, look, I'll do it, blah, blah, blah. So we get to the hospital, and, it was related to a car crash where the dad and the daughter were there. The daughter had survived and was in surgery, but dad didn't, and they didn't know that yet. So, we're standing in a tiny, tiny little room. Yeah. We're all cramped in, and there's, mum, the other kids, and, some of her friends.
Yeah.
My partner delivers the message, and like both of it, you could just feel like I felt sad, and you could hear him, his voice. He was struggling a little bit, and then they broke down naturally. Yeah. And then the family members shook our hands and asked if they could make us a cup of coffee.
You're joking.
Yeah. And that took me back, and then I was like, no, we're fine. Is there anything we can do for you?
Yeah.
And then the mum actually asked. She said, look, I want to go tell my daughter who's been injured. I want to tell her now.
Yeah.
Do you mind being there with me while I do that? And,
wow.
And I said, okay, if that's what you want to do now, but, she's just been involved in a crash as well. Like, if that's what you want to do, then I'm happy to be there with you. And she goes, I'll tell her. I'd just like you there to be there. Yeah. So we went in, and, she's in the neck brace looking up at the ceiling. And it was only a young girl, like in her mid-teens. And she, mum breaks the news to her that Dad didn't make it, and the daughter didn't cry. She just said, "It's okay, Mum. Once I get better, then I'll pull my weight into the family." Yeah, and then me and my partner walked out, mate, and that one hit us. Like, that was a tough one to watch because it just wasn't what you would expect.
Yeah,
when delivering a message like that, it was it's a tough family, man.
Yeah, it's hard, man. And the thing to remember is like, you might go and do 20 of those in your career, and by the time you finish your career, you might not even remember it, but that family will always remember that, so it's important that you're professional and you really have to show that you care,
That's why I got told, like, my first year, like, just always remember, like, most jobs you go to, this is the biggest moment in that person's life. To you, it's another job that you're just getting before you go to the next one, or you just finished the last one. It's just another job on your job list.
Yeah.
But to this person, this is the biggest thing that has ever happened to them.
Yeah.
So, you got to treat it like that.
Yeah.
Treat them with respect.
Yeah. You guys have, like, counselling services and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, we do. We've got, like, a whole different number of strategies.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. You guys you have that as well?
Yeah, we have a thing called Priority One, and like it's like a free counselling sort of service. Yeah, where you can call, and I think it's free for like partners as well, maybe potentially.
Yeah. Oh well, that's good. Yeah, actually, speaking of that, something that like I've known for a little bit because I actually got one, but I'm starting to find out actually from talking to people that not a lot of people realize that once you do one full day of continuous service in the military, you are entitled to free psychiatric care.
That
for
came in
life.
last year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
because
so
that's-
like for anyone listening who might be having a bit of dramas, doesn't matter if it's you went overseas, doesn't matter if what it's about. It could be you and your partner are struggling. You're entitled to free. To that free psychiatric care, and I think it's, if I can remember correctly, I'll try and find and put a link into the description of the podcast.
Yep.
But it's through the DVA website. You just enter in your details, which I think you go through MyGov now.
Yeah,
But
you
anyway,
do. Yeah,
I'll
do that,
throw the
actually,
link into it because
That'd be
because I'm starting to realize now. Not a lot of people realize like what they're actually entitled to medically once they
good, though.
leave the army and stuff, which is really good.
I know a lot of army guys. They go, "Oh, it's too much effort to research this stuff." But for the free psychiatric stuff, like it is so easy.
And that's one thing. Like we've had a couple of advocates speak to us in terms of dealing with DVA. Like obviously they're going through a lot of changes to try and make it a lot easier now for people to get their injuries and stuff recognised. But don't leave it until you're discharged. Get it sorted before, because you have access to your med docs and everything else, and the people that you need to talk to. Get it done before you get out.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I did that.
Oh, man. You know what I wish? I wish I took my immunisation book when I left. Because, when I went through the uni and paramedics had to prove I was vaccinated for this and this, and I'm like, I know I had this, because there's those
I don't
days
know where mine is now.
Yeah.
You know what else I wish? I wish I didn't piss my $60,000 from my deployment up the wall as well. I really, really wish I didn't do that.
God, a house would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice.
I've got one, but the money to pay it off would be even better.
Yeah.
The house is great.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard when you come back with that sort of money, isn't it?
Especially when you were 21.
Yeah.
What were we, 24?
Yeah, buying $200 mojitos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Were you there for Kodos?
Nah, man.
Because we were at some Mexican
We're
restaurant.
at a Mexican restaurant around Newmarket. What was that place called? El Pepe's or something?
Pepe's.
Oh, yeah, that's a good... Yeah,
Shout out,
I
they were
that
fucking
place.
Shout out
awesome.
to Pepe's. God, they were good.
Yeah, that's good Mexican food.
We went out for
Yeah.
Kurto's birthday, and how many people were at the table?
Pepe's, sponsor us.
please sponsor us.
We love your food.
There's like 10 to 15 people at this birthday party at this big table, and the old Moneybag Shane's like, he's had a few drinks.
No, well, hang on.
Sorry, I shouldn't.
I know you're trying to paint a picture, but
Stay in the lines.
Yeah, stay in the lines. Like, just it's very simple. Fuck with, like, stick with that on that track.
Okay.
So I
You tell the
didn't
story.
realize how much these mojitos cost. Mojitos or fucking whatever.
Well, you wanted to do something nice.
Yeah, so I thought I'll get around. Well, really, because I knew Kurto's old man was paying for them, so
Okay, so you thought the drinks were free.
Yeah.
I'll tell everyone we want drinks.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I got, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them for whoever wanted them, and I can't quite remember. Like, I'm sure I may have said, "You sure you want those?" And I was like, "Mate, yes, just get me the fucking drinks."
Yeah.
Comes down the night, and all of a sudden, Kurto's dad's like, "Who the fuck wanted these $200 fucking mojitos?" I'm like, $200? That doesn't sound right. And I went up to each.
No way.
Oh, I might be exaggerating, but they were at least
Okay,
$100.
about
At least $100 bucks.
about
I should have just stayed with 200. This is why I'm so
Oh,
bad at
drink.
telling stories. You tell the fucking story.
Holy
I'm terrible.
shit.
Okay. Well, hey,
I
you pretty
would
much
have a-
told me
Yeah,
it's
anyway.
$100 per drink, and he ordered about 5 or 6 of them.
Holy
And
shit.
I remember, like, because I was at one end of the table, and I could see people getting flustered at the other end, and then people walking up to the bar staff and walking back. And I said, like, what the fuck's going on? And I'd already pushed my mojito full, because I don't drink mojitos. I'm like, I don't want this. I had a headache that night.
Yeah.
Well, I don't fucking want this. And
I don't
someone
want
was like,
this
you better drink
seaweed
that.
shit. Yeah.
That cost $100. And all of a sudden, I saw Shane walking around looking stressed. Had a few sips. Then I couldn't see Shane. I was like, okay, was he done a runner or something? I kept talking. He's come back in. Where he went was he had to run across the road to the Newmarket Hotel to go to the ATM. to go
Get out $600 to pay for this fucking.
Kurto's dad.
I was like, I asked him, like, what the fuck is in these drinks that makes it so expensive? He started trying to tell me, yeah, whatever. It's 18-year-old tequila or some shit. I mean, I don't care.
I don't care how old she is.
Man, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money.
I can't remember how we started talking about that story.
Oh, I'd probably just interjected it. I felt like
Yeah, probably.
you guys were talking too much about yourselves.
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
was
sorry, is there
getting
anything you want to say, Shane?
No, I'm done now. I'm finished. I've had my go.
Bringing up 5-year-old stories.
Look at me.
I'm happy to see that Mo though. You've always the best Mo I've ever seen.
It's easy to see how long it lasts because I can normally keep for 1 or 2 months, and then Madison's just like, nah, no more. You've done it, and then I have to shave for a couple of months. But
the only other guy that can rival you is, remember Sarge Darcy?
Darcy.
He was like that PMV sergeant.
Why
He
do I
ran
know
the
that
PMV
name?
cell.
Why do I?
Flat top.
Yep.
Mo.
Oh yeah.
Used to bite the filter out of his smokes.
Yeah,
before he
yeah.
smoked.
He looked like an old school.
Oh yeah, because he was
Legit
just
Sarhead.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
He had a good fucking Mo. Yeah.
Going back to the first responder lifestyle. Though,
Yes.
You would highly recommend QAS for anyone thinking about getting out of the infantry?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Do it. It's like I said, it's a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't off yet.
I don't ever. It's weird. It's weird. Like, and it sounds like, ooh, like, you know, you're being a try hard or whatever. But I love what I do.
Yeah.
And when my alarm goes off in the morning, I don't have that dread of going to work. Like, obviously, there's days where I'm tired and I want to hit snooze. But I love going to work. And when I get to work, like, everyone at my station is just awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's keen, everyone's supportive, everyone's fun. We do social stuff together.
I was going to ask, do you do, like, when you're not working, do you hang out with a lot of
friends, it's sort of slowly becoming like that for me. Like, it's a bit hard at the moment where I live in. I'm living away from everyone, but like I said, I'm moving soon, a lot closer to my station, and I'm looking forward to having the time to see my friends a lot from work because, you know, I'm in that weird spot in my life where I'm kind of not transitioning, like, I'm still very close with my old schoolmates and everything and stuff, but I'm in that point in my life where shift work is starting to affect that.
Yeah,
and
you've had a rough run.
Yeah.
You know, last year as well, the same as me. Like, you've been through
bit of a split and everything like that. Yeah, so
did that affect you at work much? Did you take any time off?
I didn't. I took 2 days. Like, there was. And it wasn't really when it initially happened. It was kind of like, I think it was about a month later where, you know, I thought sort of everything was going to boil over and it'd come back together and it didn't. And, you know, but they were really supportive to me. It was really good. Like, I compared it to, like, if I was in the army.
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way there'd be this many supportive
they would
people
not give a shit, you know, but I rang my boss up and I said, man, I don't think I'm mentally sort of in a good state to work. I'd like to take 2 days off. And he's like, all right, man, leave it with me. And, you know, and he called me like 2 hours later and I was like, mate, have the 2 days off, you know. So, and I didn't want to be that sort of person that was negative at work because they were going through shit in their personal life.
Yeah.
You know? And to be honest, like, my job was my savior last year. Like, I was obviously getting used to my new job, making new friends.
Pretty new for you, so.
Yeah, like making new friends and new social circles, and like it was really the best, you know, best and worst year of my life, really. Sort of. So it's weird to explain that, but at the moment, I just love what I do, and it's just good.
Happy now, man?
Yeah, it's good, man. Honestly, like, I'm really happy to be at work, and
it's a fucking good feeling, eh? Like,
it is, man. Like, you know, so many people. And I was like this at the end of the army. Like, I didn't want to go to work.
I think we all were at that
sick.
point.
I felt sick going to work, you know, because, you know, when it was really heating up at Delta Company and that, it was just off tap. Do you remember that?
Yeah, man.
Guys were getting smoked for everything, left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And I had anxiety going to work. And I said to myself, like, I'm going to study. I'm going to do something. And I'm going to ensure that I don't dread going to work ever again, you know, because a lot of people unfortunately go through their whole life like that. Like, they wake up, they hit snooze 3 times, and then they go through the motions Monday to Friday. They get on it all weekend to deal with their whole week, and then it's like back to the start on Monday.
Yep.
And I don't feel like that. Like, it doesn't feel like work for me. Like, it's just what I do for money. Like, it's a weird feeling, but
you know, your job's very similar to mine, but we drive around a lot with one person.
Yeah, you get to know people
in between
really
jobs,
well,
mate. You're just talking shit. You're laughing about stuff. You're seeing funny stuff. Not every job is doom and gloom. Like, you get a lot of funny jobs as well.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
man.
Name one.
Oh, well, fuck, you put me on the spot here. Come back to me. Go around and come back to me. Have you had
good question. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, good question. Have you had a funny job?
Funniest job.
I can dance around a bit in the meantime while you think.
Without getting into specifics, I heard of another crew recently that went to some, I think she was like 18 and stuffed 2 AA batteries inside of her orifice that you definitely wouldn't think it's a good idea to put batteries into.
Don't snort batteries, kids.
With a okay.
Yeah.
Did she? Oh,
Double A's.
No, I won't do
Not
that.
triple A's, double A's.
Bat cave.
Look, mate,
So-
if they were D's, I'd be impressed.
But you know, you do get funny jobs. I went to a really interesting one recently with a guy in Brisbane that owned a lot of gentlemen's clubs, and he was an older gentleman, but there was fluffy handcuffs lying around and things like that. And I just thought, man, I love this job. Like, I wouldn't see this if I wasn't doing this job.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm like, I always laugh with whoever I'm working with. I'm like, how many jobs do you get where you see this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Like funny stuff. Or even
You just take a
stuff.
step back and you're like, what the?
You realise like people are strange beings.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're the strangest ones. And yeah, like you would get it too at work. Like you see this complete other side of humanity that you're not prepared or you don't think is out there, you know, like it's
Especially when like the sun goes down
Yeah.
and then all the weird stuff really
Yeah.
starts happening. Those night shifts. That's the best thing about night shift.
I got to
Weird
ask
stuff's
you,
happening.
I'm firmly for it. Do you believe in the full moon theory?
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah. mate.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. It's crazy.
You know what the full moon theory is, don't you?
Yeah.
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 Do you believe in it?
No.
You don't.
No. It's fucking stupid.
Mate, come and do our job for just one weekend night shift where it's a
I don't know
full
how
moon.
we'd facilitate that, but come and do it.
Come and
do you
it.
understand the difference between correlation and causation?
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm fucking
Professor
with you.
Strange. Jesus. Here we go. Taking the episode down again, mate. He's got that jacket. Where's your pipe? Where's your pipe?
Let's take this off.
No, Cluppy's the guy going nuts on the full moon. That's why.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a fucking werewolf. Yeah.
You're the guy who's been awake for 3 days with a raging boner running down fucking main road.
I thought you said you weren't going to bring that up.
I'm just trying to hail a cab.
So what are you?
I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire.
So what are you thinking, Tommy, with QPS? Like, what's your goals? What's your plan?
Mate, I've had... I got my general plan. I think I spoke about it in one of the last episodes. Is getting to that specialist role that I want to get into. I won't go into too much detail of the plan, but
Yeah.
getting to that specialist role, and then when I'm too old to be on the road, then getting to a training role with like all the physical skills,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And,
Academy type role, or
yeah, just train people how to do all that stuff. Because I'm an instructor at the moment. I love the times I get to do it. I only get to do it a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
But oh my God. Why'd he just spilling beer all over our
sorry,
couch?
boys.
Jeez,
Don't worry, mate. I got these for
and
free.
all over Shane's medication too.
Oh, no! Give me a
I can't
beer!
take it.
Alcohol on his meds, great. What about?
Nah, don't worry about it, mate.
Have you got a plan for the next few years?
Nah, just pretty much like settle into my role. They say it takes about 3 years or so to really feel comfortable with everything, and I agree with that. Like, I still relish working with someone that's more senior than me, like, because there's so much to learn. Like, you're learning every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're qualified or not. This is a job where, new research comes out all the time.
Yep.
Our drug protocols, or even our protocols, just change all the time.
Changes, yeah.
Oh, God. How many
based on-
times do they change the Dr. ABC
Oh,
thing?
yeah,
Like,
all the time. Yeah,
Jesus.
all the time. But
You
you know,
haven't hit
like,
that jaded phase yet?
no.
No.
I mean, like last year I worked from January up until December, and I hadn't had any leave. And obviously, with the things I had in my personal life, I was pretty exhausted.
Yep.
And I found myself kind of getting frustrated with people that would call an ambulance for, in my opinion, what would be stupid reasons.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't mean it's wrong, but I just thought, why would you call an ambulance for this?
Yeah.
This is the reason I
get
don't
the
finish
same
on
thing.
time and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And some people, you wonder why they called you, because you go to them and you're like, okay, like, you got this, and this, like, you should come up to hospital. And they're like, oh, hospital. And you're like, hospital's where you get properly assessed. Like,
Are there heaps of people that are like, is it going to cost me anything?
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
some people,
yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I only found out recently in New South Wales you got to pay for your fucking ambulance.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I don't really agree with that, because I think that, like, everyone should sort of have the right to an
Yeah.
ambulance if they feel like
I mean, well, they'll take you, but you get a fucking bill them out next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. But, like, going back to it, like, we're more than like I say to my partner all the time. Like I was saying, I was getting a little bit frustrated, and I was telling my partner like, I'm ready for a bit of a holiday. You know, it's been a long year for me, like personal life and even just starting out in the job. Like I was pretty tired, so I got like 10 days off, and I went to Bali, and I had a good time there. Yeah. And I came back just feeling so rejuvenated. Like I was just like, yep, sweet. And like I've been feeling good ever since. So, you know, but it was a long year, like to go all year. And the longest I had off was 10 days. So like that's a long time. But no, everything's been sweeter since then. And like I said, I enjoy going to work every day. I'm on holidays at the moment, which I've been enjoying.
How long you got off?
Just a week, 8 days, all up. Yeah, between.
You doing anything?
Nah. I honestly just want to do nothing.
Yeah, I want to leave at the moment for like a couple of weeks, and I'm just doing nothing.
Yeah, I just want to. Oh man, I just want to sleep in.
Yep.
And I want to just lie in the sun and have a beer and not really.
God, that'd be nice.
No, I don't want to have to do anything. I've got a couple of weeks off later in the year where I'll try and do something, but yeah, I'm just liking doing nothing at the moment.
Yeah.
You would appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly.
All we want is sunlight and sleep-ins.
Yep.
Yeah.
And normal sleeping hours.
Yeah.
That's it. Not dealing with...
Your night shifts are so different to us too. It's like, what is it? What's your night shift?
10p to 6a.
10p. So it's like, what do you even do before work? Do you sleep?
So I'll finish at 6a. I'll sleep till about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Hopefully longer. Then I'll kind of stay awake and then go to the gym at about 7:30, and then I'll train until 9:30. I'll kit up by 9:30, so I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, actually. Like, arguably, you know, you're working way longer hours consistently.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you're actually going home to your own bed after that shift, but you're working way more erratic hours than you ever did in the army.
Yeah.
But I guess because you're actually getting to do your job, you're what's the word?
Body clock?
Say again.
Body clock? No?
No,
Okay.
like you're
just satisfied.
More work satisfaction.
Oh, more work? Okay,
yeah.
I think that's the thing that frustrates most guys
in the army. Like
army.
if you're outfield or whatever you're doing where you're just doing your odd hours, you just... There's a lot of hurry up and wait and nothing's really happening, and then there might be...
But even then, like there's still a lot of that. There was a lot of that in Afghanistan, but like it seems so much more tolerable because you're doing something.
Yeah. And I know that like when I finish and go to sleep, I'm not required till this set time. Whereas in the army, you might get woken up.
Yeah,
oh, we fucking got this other thing on. You know what I mean? Like it's so erratic.
That's what I love about my job as well, and you would understand this because. You know, lawyers and things like that, their phones are ringing all the time. When I log off at work, that's me until my next shift. Yep. You know, like I don't have to worry about work until I log on next, you know, and you'd be the same.
Yep.
It's a good feeling. You can really separate yourself.
Well, sometimes I have prosecutors ringing me at home going, where's your paperwork? No, yeah, that's right.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
How long have we gone for there, Shano?
Holy shit. Hour 13.
Oh, shit. Well, we might wrap it up. Mate, Whitey, good to see you again. We'll do this more often.
Yeah, thanks for coming all the way out, man.
That's it's a long drive from Logan.
Honestly, I'm really happy to be here and see you guys. It's been too long.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
Way too long.
All right, well, we'll catch up again soon, eh?
We'll do.
Until next time, that's us out.